After 10 years of shooting photography, I finally got my hands on the Canon 70-200 F2.8 lens, the Mark II EF version. And so in today's video, I'm going to be sharing my initial thoughts, what I think about this lens paired up with my Canon R5. So my first thoughts when I actually saw and held this lens for the first time was, damn, this thing is huge and it's got some weight to it. Like, you could literally be using this to do some bicep kills. The weight and size of this thing is no joke, and let's be honest, that's not exactly a good thing. Now, yes, we are in the year of 2026 and this lens is actually 15 years old. Now, there is 3 different versions of the EF mounted 70-200 f2.8 lens, and also there is now an RF version. Now, my camera does support R mounted lenses, but the R version is just way out of my budget. It's so expensive, just like all camera equipment. You know what, it's actually kind of funny the way I actually came across this lens, because basically I know someone who works in a pre-owned shop, and before they even brought this lens in, they dropped me a message telling me they're about to buy it in, letting me know, giving me a heads up, which I kind of do appreciate, but at the same time, I was not planning on buying this lens yet. But either way, they kept messaging me and kept poking me and basically bullying me into coming down to actually go and check the lens out. And of course, I went to go and check it out and I just brought it. Not that that's a bad thing, because it is a lens that was on my list to get, as it now completes my Trinical lenses. If you know, you know. But seeing it in mint condition and at a pretty good price, I just couldn't say no. And so I just brought it. I'm going to be honest, as I'm recording this video, I haven't yet to actually use this lens very much. I have been out once to test it out, so here are some things that I've noticed so far. The focusing on this thing was what first mainly stood out to me. As soon as I pull it onto my camera, it started picking up stuff almost immediately. It is fast, it is sharp, and that is exactly what I need for my sort of photography. For that fast focusing, it will be great for wildlife photography, it'll be great for sports photography, anything that's kind of moving fast and you need to quickly capture it. Speaking of wildlife photography, now, no, this technically isn't a wildlife photography lens. Now, it does go up to 200mm, but when you're kind of shooting wildlife photography, you kind of want to be at least 400 to 600mm lens. And so what I'm thinking I'm going to do in the future is actually try a 2x teleconverter, essentially making this 70-200 turn into 140 to 400mm. Now, before all of you jump at me in the comments and say they are useless and don't get one, they're rubbish, I've never used one, so until then, I'm just going to stay unbiased. And when the time's right and I do get myself one, and if it does work out for me, I don't think I'll ever need to buy another telephoto lens. Put it that way. On the side of the lens, there is multiple switches for multiple reasons, so let me walk you through them. The first switch allows you to change the focusing modes. You can go from 1.2m to infinity, and the second option being 2.5m to infinity. This basically helps stop focus hunting depending on what focal range you're using. It basically affects how the autofocus behaves. The switch below that is the autofocus to manual focus switch. I don't think I need to explain what that does. And so the switch below that one is the stabilizer on off switch. Now, this switch is great because the further you zoom in, there's going to be more wobble and more movement, especially if you're shooting a handheld, which will, if you didn't have the switch on, will cause motion blur, something you might not want in your photos. And so with that being said, the final switch underneath that is the stabilizer modes, either 1 or 2. So 1 is basically standard stabilization. It helps reduce vertical and horizontal camera shake, and so this mode would be best for stationary subjects, and once again, handheld shooting and shots like portraits or landscapes or just everyday use. And so mode number 2 actually helps with panning stabilization. It basically helps correct camera shake when you're shooting in one direction. So this would be kind of best for like sports photography, wildlife photography, and even like car photography. The results I've gotten from this lens so far has been actually insane. The focus is sharp, the background is nice and blurry thanks to that f2.8, and of course, because of the focal distance, it actually gives off a nice bit of compression, which also kind of helps with a nice smooth and blurry background. Now, like I previously mentioned, I haven't really had time to go out and use this lens much yet, but I did go out the other day, and here is one of the photos I took. That right there, ladies and gents, is a kingfisher. And for those that don't know, a couple of years ago, I spent like a whole year trying to find and capture a kingfisher. And for the first time going out with this lens and actually going to a bird hide, I managed to capture one within like 2 hours of waiting. Now, I did end up shooting the Kingfisher through a window of what was on the side of me rather than the window that I opened that was in front of me. But still, I still managed to get the shot. Let's just say I really enjoyed my experience going there, so I'm going to be going there quite a lot more. So yeah, there you have it. They are my first initial thoughts about this lens. Let me know what you want me to capture with this thing. Let me know what you want me to try out. This probably unlocks a lot more different styles of photography, and I just can't wait to get using it and see what results I can get. Thank you all for watching. If you did enjoy the video, then make sure you hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll guess I'll see you guys next time. Safe.